Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final hour of what's it, session 5? Yeah, session 5, Depth of Culture. So, episode 5, session 5, whatever. I have to rename it. Remind me when we go offline to rename the VOD, because, whatever. Even though I renamed it live, it doesn't rename it in Twitch. So, what ends up happening is you guys are so drunk that Stallbore is capable of walking-ish, but...
I have a stick.
He has assistance. Kieran is actually fine enough to be the sober one in the group to direct them. However, Ryyk is just passed out, and Stallbore's technically strong enough to carry Ryyk, and I imagine he tries at some point.
He's just a dead weight.
And he's just like, oh, well, you're super strong, though. So you pick him up and you carry him, but then you end up like stumbling and he falls to the ground, and Ryk's gonna like wake up with a couple of bruises that didn't know where he got them from. But eventually you get like ushered out of the bar, and like, you need to go. Okay, you need to go. And so you guys go and...
There are other bars, you know. Let's go home. I don't know any other bars.
They're here, though. I know they exist.
You were a considerable distance from the seaport. And so it's going to take you a long while to try to get back there, and you're way too drunk for that. And so, Kieran's one of those people that's kind of like, any bed's a bed to crash on. And so House Lyrandar is a great place for you to just go and sober up. It'll cost some coin, but who cares? We're rich. We have lots of Ducati coins. And so you guys end up making your way over to House Lyrandar.
So many Ducati coins.
Making your way into House Lyrandar with, once again, Ryyk kind of being carried almost by
dragged.
Yeah. And it's Kieran just like, come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. It's a little bit further. And eventually you get to House Lyrandar and can open the door. And when you open inside, the person that's back there, the halfling that's back there, is just kind of like, oh, what is it that ails? Ails. What ails you? Okay. Is there any injuries? Are there any injuries?
He fell on the floor.
Then you just
I point to Ryyk.
A bed to rest on, then.
He needs an arnica bath.
You lot look a bit familiar, but come with me. Come with
He
me.
died here once.
That's not great. House Lyrandar knows us.
House Lyrandar knows us. House Lyrandar nice, right? There's nothing wrong with him.
So, always look out. There's nothing wrong with them.
So, I'm saying, Scott, don't make them the bad guys. I can't kill these happy little hailing halflings.
So you're led over to, coincidentally enough, the same room that you were in beforehand when Ryyk was all sorts of messed up and Stallbore died. And you're led over to those beds where there's only 2 beds in this room, but there's 3 of you. And they say, we'll send you the bill in the morning. Just spend your time resting up.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. As you guys are spending some time in there, just kind of like lying there, sobering up, Ryyk eventually, Ryyk sits on the bed. And it's one of those moments where he sits on the bed, and you look like you can see he's just doing one of those things where, do I lie down? I think I lie down. I'm gonna, and time passes. A couple hours pass. And eventually one of the nurses will come in to check on you guys. And they walk in like, oh, how's everybody doing today? Oh, hey guys, how have you been? And it's one of the unnamed nurses that you had helped with before, and it's actually the one that was scared the shit out of by Stallbore when noticed I had called for Mika to come in. And it's like, how's everybody doing in here? Ryk's still passed out. The 2 of you guys are probably having a conversation because, like I said, a few hours have passed, and so Stallbore's been able to sleep off a lot of it.
It's the only time I sleep is when I'm really drunk. Because elves don't sleep.
I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Do you have any
We're okay.
food?
Oh, of sorts. We do have some basic foods, breads, butters, stuff like that, so let's keep your belly filled. We have some soup, but beyond that, we do have good berries.
No good berries. Real food.
It'll fill you up.
It doesn't feel the same.
I like them. She says she walks out of the room, goes to get you guys food or whatever, puts it to your tap, and comes back in. There's a bit of food that happens. After she while she's delivering after she delivers the food, leaves again, comes back again. It's a bit later. You guys have more or less finished your food or have finished it. Ryk's finally like one of those. I'm awake and hate myself for it because when I'm drunk, I can't sleep as much as I need to. And
like sitting up, leaning forward with my fist on my hand and my fists on my forehead, just like, oh god.
The door opens up again, and one of the nurses. It's actually Mika that ends up coming to walk in. And so it's one of those, the door opens slightly, then you hear a knock knock, and then it opens the rest of the way, and Mika comes walking in. And she walks in and says, "Oh, I had to check on the rumors. I heard that the three of you had made your way here."
That we did.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see the three of you again, even if I've seen you in worse condition, haven't I? She says, and will give Ryyk a little slap on the knee.
He's not feeling very well. He's a little bit poorly.
Oh, well, that's okay. We can get him something to sober him up real quick. Where's Luca?
That did it.
Luca is no longer with us.
And then she kind of gauges the room, and she's like, "I'm genuinely sorry about that. The four of you were thick as thieves. I'm sorry. Well, let me go and see if I can get something to whip that back together for you. I'll be by in a bit to check on you." And she leaves the room immediately after that.
There's a bit of a pause. At one point, he'll say to Kieran, but not quiet enough that Ryyk can't hear. Just be like, "How bad would it have been if I said in my bag?"
Ryyk looks at you very seriously at first, but then he just cracks a smile. but it's just, ow, it hurts to be happy. Puts his head back in his hands.
A couple minutes later, a nurse walks in with this funky-looking liquid. You've seen it once before. This funky-looking liquid inside of a strange bowl. The whole thing is, of course, part of the regiment of healing. It's offered to all of you, but first to Ryyk.
I take it as much in as I can drink. I know it's going to be garbage and I'm going to hate it, but I know it'll make me feel better.
As a reminder, it's absolutely horrifyingly disgusting with a not so bad aftertaste.
I
would prefer
Ryyk had to drink this before, but he knows that it's going to make him feel better, and Ryyk doesn't care. He just wants to feel better.
It's one of those, it tastes so bad as you're drinking it, you almost burp a little in the middle, but choke it down anyways. But then a couple seconds later, it mellows out. So
and I just curled up in the ball on the bed for a little bit.
You guys see his reaction as he drinks it, but he's groaning in pain, but he's starting to get better. Offers to the two of you as well.
I'm not touching that.
Nope.
Drink up.
Good.
I'll wait for Ed to help me.
Yep. Stalwart drinks it. He's not as drunk as Ryyk is right now, so it's disgusting. So he doesn't have as bad of a reaction, but it works. Actually, Stalwart is effectively completely sober, and his hangover is effectively gone. In the next minute, it'll be completely gone. Kieran's the only one that's gonna have the shits today. So, you guys, within 10
We live at sea. It's common.
Happens.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, Ryyk is feeling better as well. And so it's around that time that the door would open up again, and Mika would come back in. And she'd come in, and just with a smile on her face, she's like, "Well, I see that everybody's feeling a bit better. I imagine you're going to be released. You would like to be released soon?"
Yes. Thank you.
It is a rather expensive room that you've chosen to stay in for a place to rest off of a drunk. Are the three of you okay?
As much as can be said, yes.
It's just nice to stay in a safe place.
Yeah, it's comfortable here.
Well, you're welcome to spend a little bit more time. Now that you're sober, honestly, you should probably spend at least another hour or so just kind of resting your sober mind and allowing it to rejuvenate. You don't have to leave for a few more hours if you don't like. So please feel free to relax for a bit. Maybe even wander the halls, and I'll check you out when you're ready later.
I've lost on my workout for too long. I'm going to go get started on that. I'll meet you guys back here in an hour.
Well, honestly, there is a small gym facility in this place because part of the rejuvenative
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. I'm not gonna look
It's like down the hall. So
I am definitely gonna wander the halls as directed.
Yep. So she leaves ahead of you guys. You guys end up breaking up shortly afterwards. She ends up going down the hallway, going down the hallway to her office. And when she opens up her office door, she's actually gives a bit of a little squeak as she sees somebody that she hasn't seen in a very long time. Like as I said, there's a little bit of a squeak that happens, and she's like, "Corvus?
Good to see you too, Mika.
It's been years."
Far too long.
Yeah. And she just walks across the room and gives you a big hug. And it's like a very, very hard embrace. You can feel like her chest do like one or two convulsions where you know she's like really choking it back. After the embrace goes on for a few moments beyond that, she takes a step back with her arms kind of like slowly sliding off and like leaving them linger, like her hands lingering on your shoulder, like your biceps for a moment. And she just looks at you and she's like, I pulls you back in for another hug and ends up taking a step back. She's like, a drink? And she gestures for you to take a seat.
Absolutely. And I'll sit right down.
She goes over to her cabinet and she opens it up and she pulls out a bottle, and you can instantly tell from the bottle that she pulls out that she is not holding. She's pulling all stops on this one. This is some quality Talented Plains Galanda liquor here. We're talking like the good stuff.
The good stuff.
It's the good stuff.
Absolutely.
It's from berries that can only grow with manure made from dinosaur dung and stuff. Like, this is quality stuff. So she ends up popping the cork and pouring you guys each a drink, and it's one of those like cheers, throws it back, refills you for sipping moving forward. And she sits down. She's like, I honestly, I suppose the Ryyks in the room. Are you? I thought you were dead.
Yeah, not so lucky, unfortunately.
The phrasing hits her hard. You can see she kind of like looks down and her face drops for a couple seconds. I imagine you have your own reaction. She looks back up to meet your eyes again.
She's gone.
That was the arrow to the heart she was hoping would not happen. She just sits there perfectly still, like her soul was just struck away from her. Then she just starts sobbing.
And I'll go around and I'll hug her.
There's like several minutes back and forth of just like her sobbing. I don't know if Corvus joins into the sobbing as well, if he's even at that point. Yeah. So there's sobbing. Eventually, like, the snot is kind of like wiped away. At one point in time, Stalbor, you walk by her office.
I definitely like.
You're sobbing.
Yeah, I would kind of hang around the hallway. Stalbor is one of those weird people who quite likes to see intimate moments that other people have. So he's kind of like he's eavesdropping.
So actually, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Under P.
Do you action point that?
No.
So actually, you're able to make out a lot of the conversation inside there. It's a bit muffled for you, but you can actually make out a lot of the conversation because a 21's pretty high. Like I said, sorry, you can make out, my apologies, some of the conversation inside there. 21's very high, but these doors are specifically thick and designed in such a way. It's closed door. It's she shut it behind her. It's designed in such a way to make it so like if you're giving news to a patient.
Confidentiality.
Yeah. But so you can make out some of it because you're lingering. And so anyways, and nobody's honestly really gonna bother you unless you're like there for
it's one of those things where he's like sort of standing against the wall with like the staff to his head, just kind of like he kind of looks like he belongs in those kind of hallways.
Yep. She, after like wiping away a bit of snot and whatnot, and she's like, "Oh, look at me!" And she goes over and gets like a chiff and like cleans herself up and offers like a hanky for you as well.
Yeah.
And it does like another throws back another drink and pours you guys another one. This time it's intended for actual sipping. She's like, I'm I imagine. I'm so sorry. There's no. Have you seen anyone else?
No. This is, I wandered for a while after the war ended. When it happened, I tried to go back, but, well, you've heard the stories.
I've not seen the wounds, but I've seen the look in the eyes of the medics, those that have treated them before. I was fortunate. I was here. I was actually stationed a bit higher. I ended up moving to this position because it was, well, we all do our part.
Of course. Well, I couldn't do mine anymore after a while, so I wandered, and now here I am because I actually have a question. And, well, you remember my family's heirloom.
That was a buzz for a long time. Some people thought it was lost until it was said that apparently it's with your brother, I believe.
It is.
That's news.
Not that he can use it,
Well,
but maybe I can.
if not now, then someday, right?
We can only hope.
Well, that's... okay. Does anybody else know? Beyond, your brother spreading the rumor?
He's spreading it so that we don't lose our position after my parents were lost as well. He doesn't have the standing, and with me wandering, well, it's not exactly like our family's doing very well with Jarasco at the moment. So that rumor, I suppose, is meant to keep us in good graces while I sort out my life, as he likes to call it. But no one else knows for certain, save for you now.
Thank you. So this is just passing through then.
I'm hoping to stay for a little bit, not too long, but
You
well,
have a bed at my house, please. Of course.
I will absolutely take you up on that. It's been too long.
To be fair, you look like you need a shower.
Yeah. maybe a few.
I hate to get all, doctor on you. But you know that just wandering aimlessly is probably not the best choice, right? You need something.
Purpose is something that I've been lacking lately.
I'm sure I could help find something for you, something that would get you up and running.
Maybe. I don't know that my wanderlust is done yet, but maybe. I do have a question, though.
Oh, please.
You're familiar with what my family's heirloom does? Yes?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's...
At least what the rumors say.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know anyone who might know anything about that kind of thing?
Best I would know is them up in the 12, right? And I've never stepped foot in the tower before. Or you can of course speak to the matriarch. She obviously would know things, but that's too much. You know what? House Kenneth? No. Honestly, you just need a mage, one that's really good at kind of delving into to magic, right?
Yeah. I mean, one who's not afraid to go into perhaps the darker sides of magic, given the nature.
Funny you say that.
What do you mean?
There's this group that actually happens that they used to have to frequent here. Let's just say that. They have a bit of a reputation for themselves. Anyways, amongst them, there does happen to be a wizard. He last time I saw him, I swear to you, he was a walking corpse. Like, we're talking the cavity in his chest was genuinely frightening. And there was this like goopy material. It turns my, sometimes I wake up at night thinking about it. It was genuinely frightening. Anyways, they stumbled in here after, it's been almost 2 years. They stumbled in here last night drunk. I guess passing through, they lost a friend of theirs. Probably on a tour paying an honor to him or something. He looks like he's alive. I don't know what he's been up to, but honestly, that might not be a bad lead.
It's the most promising thing I've heard in the last 4 years.
I do have to warn you. He's a bit eccentric, as you might guess.
I mean, even just understanding what that can do to someone would be extremely helpful. Given...
No. I mean, he's Aranel.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting nonetheless. So he was always that way then.
He's always a bit out there, but even for them, he's a bit out there. So I just, heads up about that. He's a nice person, very respectful. Just a little out there, a little odd.
Did anyone in his group know him before the cavity?
Well, the cavity, sure, before the cavity, but before him being, I honestly didn't inquire too much. The cavity was a kind of new thing, something that had happened to him. I honestly, the details, I'm sure if I found the old medical reports, I'd be able to find.
I won't bother you.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of, I'm probably telling you too much as it is right now, but medic to medic,
Well, yes, I still have my rank. Technically, they let me keep it while I wandered in case I decided to come back.
So you've popped by at least one of the offices.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, good for you. Does that mean you've gone as far as? Did you go as far as Karnath?
I see now. I think I've told you too much as well.
Well, either way, I mean, he's, like I said, they just finished sobering up themselves, and they're kind of doing their own thing at the moment. I could potentially introduce you to them in the near future. I wouldn't want to burden them, and besides, you just got off the road yourself. I'm sure you'd like to, have a bath and be presentable.
Maybe have a wander of your halls first, and then go have a bath.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I've been here all night. This is one of those day and a halfers, so I can just cut out a little early, and I'll just bring you back to the house so you can properly, eat and rest. And
absolutely, if you're willing to take the time, it would be much appreciated. It's been a long time since I've stayed in a warm bed. Let's put it that way.
Well, you are definitely welcome to rest up there, and it's one of those, like, she kind of like reaches over and like puts her hand on yours. She's like, it's just so good to see you. I'm glad you made it. I am. She would be, and she takes her hand off of yours, kind of like slides off, and she's like, well, let me at least finish up my work so I can get out of here.
Of course.
Go get in somebody else's way so I can focus and get my stuff done. So you can.
Well, maybe I'll see if anybody needs help for the moment while I have the time.
That's sweet of you, but you should probably wash your hands.
I will definitely wash my hands. Don't worry.
and then you can definitely hear, even though you only heard about half of that, Ollie, you can definitely hear the scraping of chairs as they're getting up. Do you continue standing there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Like, I haven't moved because I'm an elf. I'm just the same position.
She opens the door. It's one of those. She opens the door to let you out, and so and as she opens the door to let you out, you're standing there to say it's very temporary goodbye. She's literally like, I'm gonna finish my stuff. We're out of here in like an hour, sort of a thing. But she opens the door to say goodbye, and she's like, wow, and she gives you one of those one arm half hugs. She's like, all right, go make use of your time, and looks past you. Stalbor?
And I'm going to turn around to look as well.
Are you okay?
meditation.
Oh, was the room a bit crowded for you?
We have a lovely, quiet place of work and business here. Sometimes
Lately. No, embassies.
quiet's good. It's business, right?
Quiet is good so that you can. It's the calm before the storm, isn't it?
You probably Corvus figure he's was definitely maybe not eavesdropping, but hanging around, maybe waiting to chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
And then because I would definitely be looking at past her at him.
Yep. So it's one of those things where I was going to say. So as you're looking over at Stalbor, you obviously know what Stalbor looks like, and he described his outfit currently earlier this session.
Especially Stalbor is now kind of a slightly nondescript elf. Just there's not much going on with him anymore, aside from he doesn't look as clean kept as other elves, really.
So you've seen Arenal elves before and whatnot, though not tons of close interaction with them. The Farlan elves that he's kind of sort of dressed as looks nothing like you're not familiar with them at all. He just is dressed eccentric to you, and it's weird. He's got this big ass belt and whatnot. It's just
you might recognize dwarven trinkets and things in his hair and stuff like that.
He's just again looks very eccentric. And
all
so,
over the place.
Corvus, describe yourself.
For you, you see a halfling of moderate size. He is stout, certainly. And by moderate size, I mean moderate size for halflings. He's
So what a 2.5 foot?
just under 3 foot.
That's tall.
Well,
Depends on the system.
Yeah. But he's just under 3 feet tall. He's got short cropped red hair. He's actually, despite being quite grimy at the moment because he's been traveling, he's a very clean kept individual. He's got kind of brilliant green eyes. He's a bit gaunt, pale, almost quite a hooked nose. He's wearing black into green leather armor with the mark of House Jarasco on the pauldrons, emblazoned in a dark gold. Very difficult. Under his arm is a Legion cap that is a black fabric cap with the House Jarasco insignia sewn into it. Other than that, it's not all that interesting to look at.
Mika, why don't you introduce your friend there?
She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. This here is Corvus. Corvus, Stalbor, Corvus. He's, and you can see she looks at him and there's clearly a connection between the two of them. But she looks at him almost with sad eyes. He might not pick it up because he's looking over at you. Because she looks at him with sad eyes. An old friend and an unexpected guest. Stalbor's a patient of mine. As a matter of fact, Stalbor, to be completely honest with you, we were just speaking about you not very long ago.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Well, very interesting indeed. You actually, well, how rude of me. It's very nice to meet you. And what brings you here?
Hard to say. My friends.
Isn't that always the way? And I'm going to give a nice, kind of almost a long look at Mika, just pause, and then return to our slow conversation.
Corvus, why don't we walk and talk?
Absolutely. We should let Mika get to her work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Mika, I hope it's all right that I'm not going to be stepping in to help anybody for the moment. Stalbor and I might actually have things to talk about. I hope that's all right.
Are you kidding me? Please, get out of my way. I have stuff to do.
And I'm going to put a hand rested on her shoulder and just say thank you, again, quietly, and then go home.
It's one of those teary-eyed nods. And then she shuts the door behind her because she's trying not to show all of her emotion to everybody. And she'll, of course, go inside there and try to get her work done and whatnot. So the two of you go walking off.
A little bit round a corner, Stal will just say, Retired army medic.
Aranel. Not quite.
No cigar for you, my friend.
Tell me more.
Born in Aranel. Ended up in Shan. Traveled all around Pirate Peninsulae. Back in Shan.
Well,
Oh, and there was some Stormreach in there. Horrible place. Very humid.
I didn't
That's
know.
coming from an Aranel.
Well, sounds like a lot of travel. So why back to Sharn?
Research of historical relics.
Enticingly vague.
Well, of course. If I was going to make this easy for you, it would be no fun for me.
Well, I am researching a historical relic myself, as you might have heard.
A little bit.
My family's heirloom. Of great interest to me. Mainly because I might be one of the only people in my house who can use it. But
Isn't that familiar?
is it? You'll have to tell me more.
I'm currently... one of my friends is a hobgoblin who may be related to an old emperor and may be the only person who could unite the clans and use the magical relics that would do so. You're not trying to unite any clans, are you?
No. Well, actually, this brings me to the point of interest. What I'm trying to do is probably considered somewhat unsavory by some. I'm trying to be, well, no, you know what? It's hard for me to say.
I know what you're trying to do. I hear that weight on your voice. I've carried it for years.
And he's gonna choke back. Then you know why this is important to me. But never mind that. Why it's important to me isn't what's important right now. I was just wondering what you know about it, since you've carried that weight.
I am seeking the knowledge you seek in a different way than you. I have made incredibly grand steps, and I've even rejected the gift you seek once before. You could say it's my life's work.
Oh, Mika. You always met the most interesting people.
I am the most interesting people of all she's met yet.
She mentioned that, which I'm, again, sure you heard. But, fortune favors fools, so I might ask that if you're doing this research, it's perhaps foolish. I'm looking for...
I'll help you. I can't guarantee my friends will and my captain will appreciate it. But like I said, I've heard that weight on your voice before. I've carried it for a long time, and it weighed on me very heavily. And that single driving factor you have took me to places I don't want anyone to go. So in helping you, I'm very much helping you. But, of course, I'll have to check with my captain. And then we'll see what happens.
I imagine you say that as you stop in front of the door where they are.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I have
measured
to my captain.
before
And
plan.
Kieran hears captain.
And just for the record, you know I'm an army medic. Not former. Still am. The war may be done, but I still hold my rank. I still work. And I will work. It's my job, everywhere I go.
That's good, because I have a habit of dying. Kieran!
That's like the best line to stop the stream at, but we have to introduce him.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a perfect fade out moment.
Kieran, I have found...
Well, I hope you've had a good time wandering around, you know, when we're supposed to be sticking together, because we could be killed at any moment.
I was within earshot.
I could have killed somebody by now. You could have died.
This is your captain, I presume?
It's a building full of doctors, Kieran.
As a
But
reminder,
they're part of the houses.
As a reminder, Kieran has a lesser, which is it goes least than lesser, a lesser dragon mark on the side of her head, and you have.
Me. Yes, I have a lesser dragon mark, and it actually runs down my arm, which you can't see most of, but you'd see it just peeking out beyond my sleeve.
There you go. My apologies, Kieran. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
A house full of doctors that are part of a house that are trying to possibly kill us. That's fine.
Well,
And I gesture to him, like with the obvious dragon mark.
Oh, he's not trying to kill me. We may have similar goals.
Oh,
hello.
hi.
This is Corvus.
Hi, Corvus.
He's
Hello.
looking for a relic from his family line.
Well, not quite. I have the relic. I just don't know how to use it.
Turns, looks.
Not on me. It's very large.
How large?
2,000 pounds, give or take.
We don't use pounds on air now. How large?
Sorry, 2,000 metric ton. Sorry, one metric ton.
One metric ton.
I apologize.
That's large. Where is it? Don't say yet. We haven't made any sort of agreements. This man is forlorn. I can help him. All of this is for the helping of people, and I cannot stand by and not help Kieran.
And you want to look at the cool magical relic.
Yeah.
It's funny because he goes from this like, I am a well intellectual to yeah. And you're like, I get what she was saying. Go ahead. So imagine around now, Ryyk can come in at any point in time. Just like
Sweat on.
Yeah, sweat pouring down him. He's sweat out the alcohol from his body that was kind of disrupted by the medicine. You kind of come walking in and you see there's another medic in the room, though this one's kind of dirty and it has armor. But either way, he's another Jurassico medic that's in here with them, maybe checking up on him.
Yeah, so at first I actually probably wouldn't even pay attention to him. Kind of like when your buddy comes in your house from the gym, your roommate, and he just doesn't pay attention to what you guys are doing on the couch. I just go over, get changed really quickly. I have
how to do with a big old hobgob.
I have no shame, so I'll just get changed real quick. I turn around and I say, so when we gonna head out soon?
Ryyk, this is our latest stray. What's joining us? Corvus?
So he is joining us.
Right?
Wait, huh?
How can I say no?
Whoa, wait a second. I left you for an hour. How do we?
Yeah, I mean, we found another one.
And I'm gonna walk up to Ryyk and just offer a hand for a handshake. I'm really short in comparison.
Yeah.
It's like up here.
I'm 6.5 feet
He's
tall.
double
So
your height. You are over double my height. So I'm like reaching up as high as I can, which maybe doesn't even reach your waist.
I actually like. I'll lean down, like being respectful about it. I'll lean down and I'll shake your hand and I'll say, Ryyk Marcelon, pleasure.
Corvus Dorn de Jurassico. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, I mean, looking at Zakir and I say, I look to here and I say, well, you've invited Rock on our journey, so I can't imagine having a medic who might.
Don't you dare make fun of Rock.
All I'm saying is that
him.
Rock is liable to hurt
Where else is
himself.
he gonna go? He hasn't wandered off the ship yet.
I don't like the fact that you had to add yet to that.
It's a concern.
Now, I hate to bring up the elephant in the room, but if we're gonna bring him on, I might as well just say it. He is from one of the houses, which
They kind of want us dead.
A man is not his house.
I'm well aware of that, which is why I was okay when Bellum joined our group.
This man is on a purpose beyond the mean of houses.
We should probably talk to him a little bit about what we're.
Yeah, but probably not here.
There's a time for that.
I agree very much.
I'm
Let's go
not
get breakfast. I'm very
too
hungry.
bothered with whatever your goal is. I'm happy to help, unless it's specifically, I don't know, slaughtering innocents.
No, we're trying to stop some of that.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't say anything.
Well, when he says slaughtering innocents, we both really look at Karen.
Karen's
I
like,
think-
No, because Stalbor
think
doesn't
that's
think she need that.
oh no, it never happened in Shrine before.
I say,
We never saw the
we're,
book.
we're trying to stop that, but yeah, let's go get some breakfast. Might be better
can
if we talk somewhere more private.
I could eat. Okay. I am meant to meet with Mika after her shift, so
Your
I'll
friends?
come in. Yes, yeah. Old friends. As long as I've been alive.
That most certainly makes me trust you a lot more. Mika's a good sort.
Some of the best.
You know where the copper hog is, Corvus?
I'm sure I can find it or get someone to point me in that direction. I'm pretty okay.
We'll be
at
there.
figuring my way around places.
When you're ready, meet us there. We'll talk further.
Agreed.
It's kind of around now where you would hear like and that Mika would pop in the door and be like, "Oh, that's where you went off to." I finished most of my stuff and honestly kind of shirked the rest of it. I guess shirked the rest of it. I could take care of it later on. Nothing's dire. Not life or death. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to be meeting my new friends here over some breakfast in a little while, but I'd love to come back.
Are you
and,
guys going back to the Copper Hug?
Yeah.
Oh, that poor man.
They love us there.
We've given that man so much money. He cannot complain.
I imagine that's true. I mean, I certainly can't. Don't forget to please. It was 115 gold. Was the bill on your way out?
And
We'll take care of it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna foot this bill for them today, Mika.
Oh.
Gonna.
She stops.
Yeah.
She's like, "What?"
It's consider it penance for not coming sooner after the war.
Well, I was. Can you say pet? How do you argue with penance?
You don't.
Quite hard.
It is, isn't it? She says, looking at Stalmor for like confinement. She's like,
You said 115.
yeah. She
Okay.
says, does say as you're walking away, but don't worry, we'll apply the house discount.
I tip my hat to that, and
You're the paying 45 instead.
Wow!
sounds
I'm
good.
so glad I'm planning to play some Jurassico members in the future.
So anyways, she ends up leading you out, and you guys are of course released to go whenever you'd like to.
Yeah, I'll kind of but just before we leave, kind of go to Kieran and just be like, he seeks to return someone dear to him from death. That's my aim, that's my goal. His artifact may assist my research. That is why I want him with us. I know you already agreed, but communication is important.
It's fine. Whatever you need.
Exactly. Like, go to the Copper Hog.
And I need breakfast.
You guys go walking back into the Copper Hog, and it's literally one of those things
We left like a few hours ago.
where like the guy that was working throughout the night is literally opens up, like goes to open the front door and sees some people coming in, and so like holds it open, and then as you guys like walking by him, he's like, no, Okay, hey guys, he says as you're like walking past him, he's smiling, tipping a hat, whatever you're doing as you're walking past him. He's like, oh, hold up. He has to get your attention. Can you just do me a small favor? Could you be gone by the time I get back to work later on?
We're not drinking right now. So,
But
We're
you've
not?
said that before.
you know what? I appreciate the
We've never
hostility.
broken anything. We give you all kinds of money.
You know what? I'm feeling sick today. He says that he walks out the door.
I'll show you sick.
Our
And
favorite
with
bartender.
With that, we will end this session. Oh God. All right. So it's so nice to have a group of 4 back together. Because when what's his face was there, it didn't feel like a 4th party member. It felt like an NPC waddling through and rolling dice. You know what I mean? But it's so nice to have what is clearly a 4th party member mixing in. Sorry, I keep hitting my desk. So starting with that 4th party member, who are you? Where are you? There. Who are you?
I'm
Who
Will.
you be?
You can find me at twitch.tv/WinterBearGames or on Twitter at Willgram_WBG. Stream quite a bit. Sunday, I'm going to be on Ollie's channel. That's going to be fun. Also, I have one more thing to say that's actually very exciting. I have to say a very, very special thank you to Aaron, actually, who is my very first Patreon supporter. So thank you,
Aw.
Aaron.
That's awesome. What is it?
Yeah.
Patreon.com/
Let me actually just double check because I have it up. I'm pretty sure it's Winter Bear Games, but let me double check that.
Oh, I thought it would be a book one.
No, it's not because I'm dumb.
Yeah, I was going to support it, but now I'm not.
Just
I have
slash Winterbear.
Entirely honest.
Yeah, no. It is just /Winterbear, and it is actually also going to have writing content on there very soon for some of the levels where I'm going to be releasing short stories. So if you want to check out my writing before my book comes out eventually, that would be the place to do it. And Aaron, you actually got at a level where you're going to get some of it. So
Thanks.
yeah.
Eric is the
He's
worst. with
a
cameras.
talented writer, creative person. That's why I got him in this whole mess.
You
You're welcome.
messy boy. All right.
So that's on Wednesdays.
Ollie, who are you? How can we find you?
I'm Ollie. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at OllieRant. On next show is on Sunday, where Will and Erin are both there. It's another JavaScript adventure set in the north, and they're monster hunters. And on Wednesday, Scott is with me on Stars Without Number Ardent, which is a Stars Without Number sci-fi game. I also stream most nights at 9 p.m. BST. Those start at 7 and 12 respectively. And I sometimes paint. I'm also playing RimWorld at the moment on my channel, and that's always good. And if you hang out in chat, you might just get to be a colonist who dies naked and afraid.
I mean, I like being both afraid and naked. So
I can't remember. You've been in the games, but I don't remember what was really happened with you.
I mean,
And
I'm a forgettable
He
sort.
was a drone in your vampire world.
He was insane.
He was.
I have a Cthulhu mod on, and you
Yeah.
were the person doing the writing. From
Yeah,
the
you
Cthulhu
were the
mythos
crazy
going
cultist, and it was
mental.
time.
By the end of it, you couldn't talk, you could barely walk. You just sat at a desk and wrote.
So Wednesday after my 3rd stream.
Yeah.
Okay, after my 4th stream in 24 hours. Yeah, that's the listen to news and hate life.
Yeah, Cthulhu Catharden.
All right, and Erin, who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, I'm Erin. You can find me in your Discord.
Oh,
All Spirit Justice. And you can find me here on Fridays and on Ollie's channel on Sundays. Or Saturdays, whatever time zone you're in. Kinda weird.
Oh yeah, it's kind of
Mondays.
it's actually Monday for me.
Monday.
It's Monday
Sunday.
morning, technically.
East Coast to West Coast. Yeah. Yeah. And Eric. Actually, you're doing something. Aren't you doing something now? Aren't you doing a thing now?
Not yet. I'm going to start now. I just
Weren't you
dropped
doing
my.
like an Insta thing?
Mm.
No, not really.
You like
I
Grammy
have
with
my
it?
Instagram, but not really doing with that. I might have some come down the pipeline. I just dropped my Sunday game, but yeah. So, but I'm Eric.
So
I'm
did
here
you
on
say you're
Fridays.
available for a Sunday campaign? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome.
Sunday's my turf.
Zero of
It's-
that.
The best turf too.
getting out of the D&D game a little bit. But yeah, I'm Eric. I'm here on Friday, and I'm in the Discord. But that's about it for me.
Awesome.
Discord down below. Discuss the game. Discuss the spoilers. Discuss the new guy. Discuss the old guy.
I'm the old guy.
You are the old guy. I'm
And
242.
I am Ryyk. If you're here, you found me. If you want to find more of me, there's Ryyk.com. And if you want to find more of me, you go to pornhub.com/Ryyk. I don't know what's there. I don't know what that link leads to. I'm now a little curious, but I'm not going to click it.
If you have a Pornhub, you have to beat Dale Dick.
Oh, I let that in.
I'm so happy.